is going to be a non-violent, peaceful demonstration. Are you all ready to go? Women to have a voice. This is not an issue of choice. We want women to have a choice. Hey, hey, ho, ho, you got to go.
It started off in 1990, a clinic in Blaine, Washington, and targeting the South Asian community by putting ads in the Indo-Canadian newspapers for this so-called service.
This issue is important to IMA because it is a severe form of sexism. Right at birth, you're trying to kill a fetus on the basis of sex.
The advertisers and the editors have decided to undermine the efforts of the women, and they have chosen to attack the women, and they have chosen to attack individuals within the coalition. And I think they're basically using this scare tactics to silence women's voices.
80s we had the television power, and in the 90s we had both television and radio. So their message started going out throughout British Columbia.
This doctor was asking to open a clinic in Vancouver, and at the end of the day we actually were very happy that we succeeded, because the reproductive technologies said, no, you cannot open the clinic here in Vancouver.
And then indirectly we've been having conferences and talking to women about violence against women. So approaching this issue in many angles, many using.
Once we formed our dance group in 1973, we gave ourselves the name the India Mahila Women's Association, and we began performing throughout the city.
Most of the time, I did play a role of a suppressed wife or a mother, sister, and it was quite intense. And it was quite a bit based on local issues.
I was attracted to the cultural aspect of it, having grown up in Vancouver, and I drifted away from our culture.
Punjabi community grew dramatically in early 70s, and most of these people that came from a feudal Punjabi village background had a different set of ideas, especially the gender role. And so it created a lot of problems here in industrial society. Women were also working, started work. So there were issues in almost families, each family, between husband and wife and fathers and daughters, and those issues were dealt in a more traditional manner, that you keep quiet. It's a matter of honor. You don't talk about outside.
Women are reluctant to ask for help, or they believe that that's their fate in life.
But it was not only singing and dancing, but talking about harder subjects. And before long, we were now starting to have movie nights, where we would have the movie nights where we would actually show a movie that dealt with domestic abuse, that dealt with rape, that dealt with how women were treated, and how we deal with it as a community, and how you are groomed.
मैं बिल्कुल हाउसवाइफ सी, मैंने कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं सी, कोई लैंग्वेज कुछ नहीं सीगा.
But there were some problems when the houses didn't want them to know about those services. So we were restricted. Sometimes they would meet us behind their back.
The impact IMA had, in my opinion, was really about addressing and putting voice to patriarchy in our society.
IM ने मैंने बहुत हेल्प किया, स्पेशली आंटी हुना को मेरे नाल भी जाते रहे मेरे कोर्ट विच ते मैनू लॉयर फाइंड करके दिता. सो मैं बहुत उस टाइम ते बहुत डरी हुई सी. आई एम सो कन्फ्यूज्ड एंड इमोशनली हेल्प मैनू इन्होंने दिता बहुत ज़्यादा.
Actually, around 1975, I moved to Vancouver, and I was going through the process of separation, and I was very lonely because no family support here. And then one of my friends, she introduced me to IMA. So when I came to IMA first meeting, I felt like I was in my home, and because I met so many strong women, and they were so friendly, very positive. I never looked back.
Women that IMA is able to help feel a strong sense of community and belonging, and I think being able to make women feel like they belong and have people that they can go to is very powerful.
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਣ ਆ ਕਿ IMA ਇੱਕ ਐਸਾ ਪੜਾਅ ਸਿੱਧ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਲੋੜਵੰਦ ਔਰਤਾਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਡਰ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੱਚੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਸਹੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਜੀਣ ਦਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਸਕੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਫੈਸਲੇ ਆਪ ਲੈਣ ਦਾ ਵਿੱਚ IMA ਬਹੁਤ ਮਦਦਗਾਰ.
We were able to initiate discussion on women's issues in the community. That we started that because there was silence about issues that women face.
मेरी लाइफ चेंज हो गई. बलजीत इज न्यू बलजीत.
The community education that IMA did was always to uplift women and to make them believe in themselves.
Because I have met lots of women who were suffering in the house and they were not allowed to call anybody, they were not allowed to invite anybody at home. So this gave them hope because in that way they knew their rights. So when they know their rights, then they have hope that we can do something for ourselves, for our children, for the family. Otherwise they were thinking like they're stuck wherever they are.
So what IMA did is brought this issue outside, make it a community issue, and so the voice that was unheard of those victims was heard.
But every single time you have a conversation, you have an opportunity to ask people, what do you think? Do you think this is right? Do you think it's wrong? But why? And when you walk out of that room, you know perfectly well that somebody's going home tonight with a different frame of mind.
And we used to take the women for Take Back the Night, and over there when we listened the lecture from the other women, and then we bring back the message and tell our members that what we have done there, and that makes the women more stronger.
The husband of a girl went to his in-laws' house and killed 9 members of the family. And IMA went there personally and they attended their funeral and they spoke at the funeral too. So that impressed me that these women can come out of their home from permission from their husbands to go out and do these kind of things.
My one takeaway is being involved working with these amazing women who voices their opinions fearlessly for women and stand up for the rights of women.
What motivated me to get IMA members to come on the show was their ideology, which matched with my way of thinking. And whatever I was passionate about, they were passionate about it too.
ਔਰਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਾਹਰੋਂ ਮਦਦ ਲਓ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸੁਚੇਤ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਅਤ ਰੱਖੋ.
Dowry doesn't help the woman in any way. I say to people, the best dowry you can give your offspring is education.
Of course, part of educating men is also about creating safety for women. Even though in my mind it was always about how to keep women you know, my grandmother's mother, myself, my daughter, and the next generations, how to think about keeping women safe, it became very clear to me that unless we were also changing the minds and the experiences of boys and men, we could not, you know, push this mountain ourselves.
One word that makes me proud of IMA is just community.
Advocacy.
Hope. I'm most proud of IMA for women's empowerment.
Continuity.
Passion.
There's no one word.
So I think that drive, that passion that existed with the founding mothers of this organization, I think the challenge is to instill that in the next generation.
Say the new members to keep on doing the work that we have started. It is women's issues. This is not one group or one woman. It is the collective.
Going down memory lane, we think about the infrastructure that we have created. Phone captains. We've had a referral service, liaison. We've worked with umbrella organizations. We have had seminars and workshops and self-defense classes. We have participated in marches and demonstrations. We've had address speeches. We've created skits and plays, and we've always had a common denominator to allow our women to be stronger.
मैं भी आंटी वांगू बनना मांगती हूँ अपनी लाइफ च. She is so strong lady. इन्हां दे रस्ते ते चला.
Last word, I think our younger generation will do the modern kind of services, and they're more educated than myself. And I'm very proud that we find good people that will carry the torch.
I'm very proud to say that without a penny from any source of government for operational funding, over the last 50 years, we've been able to collect 100,000. We're very happy that those would continue as a legacy of our 50 years of work, and this is an ongoing award which is supposed to last forever.
They've given an example to my 4 granddaughters. I'd love them to be able to look at the photographs of their grandmother speaking up and their great-grandmother, my aunt, speaking up on these issues. I think that would give them a bit of a boost to their egos.
I have always wanted to give back to the society, and I was looking for ways to do that. When I came to BC a few years back, I came across Raminda Dosanjh and her work with IMA. When I saw what IMA had done in the last 5 decades to uplift and to work for the women's causes in BC and around, I was really impressed, and somewhere I felt that it kind of resonated with what my values and beliefs are. So that is why I decided to step up and join IMA.
In terms of the issues that still need to be addressed, it's really hard to kind of just pick one, because I think there's a common misconception that we don't need feminism anymore. All the gender issues have been solved, and we don't need to talk about this anymore. And that is far from the truth.
The needs are different in 2024 because we're tackling 2 different groups of women in the community. I would say we are addressing issues that are brought by new women to the community, maybe from abroad, but we are also tackling issues of women who have grown up in this community. And so that's anywhere from domestic violence to queer and trans rights.
One of the key things which I feel which is coming up is based out of technology. You have things like cyberbullying, you have online harassment, you have data piracy issues which happen. Now, we need to gear up to meet these challenges also.
The emerging issues that need support today are with international students. And so there is a need to provide them with more support.
My mom was a part of it for 30 years. And for 30 years, I watched her work on this board with so many of these other wonderful ladies. And they had so many successes helping women in the community, and I wanted to do the same.
I won't be on the IMA board, but I will be there in spirit and in person when they need me.